Hey guys, it's Loui from Dell Financial, and today I have a very special guest joining me on one of these videos. His name is James Barwood. He's a good friend, one of my business partners, and he is a licensed buyer's agent at Virtue Invest. I'll hand it over to you, James.
Thanks, Loui. Welcome. Today we want to give you a few pointers, a few tips from the conversations we have with our clients. As Loui mentioned, I work quite closely with him. And it probably brings us to the first point I think is really important for any of the clients we sit down with, is ensuring they know what their financial position, what they can borrow, especially in the current market with the banks and how they are assessing things very carefully. If a lot of my clients tend to be doctors or executives, and they have more complex structures, if that's your situation, it's really clear, it's really useful that you make sure you have all your information very straightforward, very organized, and bring your accountant on board, because many of the brokers, I'm sure Lou will attest to this, is a lot of them want to talk straight to your accountant to get all the information straight from from the source, so they can make sure it's all on board and really clear. The banks are now assessing all lines as part of your income and your expenses. So that level of detail, the more succinct you can make that, the more straightforward it's going to make your life really easy, and also Louis' life really easy. So you get you a really clear picture on what you can borrow and a time frame to get that approval as well. So I think that's probably the first step that any of our clients sit down with, is where are you with the financial approval? Excellent. So Lou was asking, in terms of what type of strategies do we look for clients, and it really comes down to, I guess, the client themselves and what their risk profile is and their appetite to get involved. Some people want a very straightforward and simple buy and hold, set and forget type property, where they're just looking for long-term capital growth and basically buying their own personal rent roll for the future. Whereas other clients, they want to add value, force sale on the property, which could be either buying something that's older and renovating it, could be building a granny flat, it could be looking at something maybe a bit more involved, which could be a subdivision, constructing a dual occupancy. Again, all these are all possible strategies, and all work for the client, dependent upon their cash flow, their ability to service the additional debt, especially if it's a development, and also being more aware of the timelines as well, because things like subdivisions, developments can take a lot longer and may not be quite as fast as they think it is. So we sit down with a client and look at what they're trying to achieve over the next 5, 10, 15, 20 years, and how does that property fit into their long-term portfolio, and then basically build it around them. So we might start with the first property might be more straightforward to test if it's their first investment. Start the test the water for their first investment, but then plan to maybe slightly increase the involvement or the risk on the developments as we move forward, as they get more accustomed and more comfortable with both the debt and the acquiring the assets. So it's really about what the client feels comfortable with, because any strategy that keeps you awake at night and not able to sleep comfortably is not the right strategy for you. So it's got to make sure you feel comfortable, but then also give you the financial rewards you're looking for as well.
James, my final question to you is, why should people get in touch with you and Virtue Invest? What value do you have to offer in this space?
Great question, thank you. So the reason why we chat with us, our focus is really in ensuring the client gets a long-term strategy that's going to benefit them and reach their financial goals. The first step for many of the clients we have is they really don't know what that is. They have no idea what the long-term plan is. We talk about prosperity rather than, I guess, wealth, because prosperity is really making sure that people have the financial backing, but they also have the lifestyle they're looking for as well, and they also have the well-being, so they have an investment portfolio that's actually not causing them stress. It's giving the financial rewards, it's also giving the lifestyle as well. So it's looking at the bigger picture, and that's our first step, is to make sure that they actually understand what they're trying to achieve, and it's just not numbers on a page, because 10 grand a month, 20 grand a month is not what drives them. It's about spending time with their children, not missing family events, taking them on holiday they want to go to. What's it really mean to them? Get that really clear, and then we can work out. It might actually be less than some people think. It can actually be a lot less sometimes once they've covered the basics. But understand what the numbers are. Once we've got that in place, then we can design a portfolio around them that's going to be something that's going to take place over the next 5, 10, 15 years. Again, it's going to be simple steps at a time, and we'll hold their hand. And we integrate and work with people like yourself. So we like our clients to work with the directors of companies they work with, whether it's financial planning to support them from a an asset protection perspective, whether it's their accounting to make sure they've got the right structure that suits their asset protection as well, and then bringing in the broker to obviously get them the right finance structure. So really working together, so the client gets a holistic plan, but they don't have to source every aspect of it. They then get the portfolio that's going to give them the long-term results, and then basically we'll walk them through the process step by step, hold their hand, educate them along the way, make them feel comfortable, tell them where the risks are, show them what the risks are, really point those out, and then show them how we're going to mitigate them along the way, so they understand the process.
I think collaboration is key.
Always, because at the end of the day, everyone has to play the game. Like if you can have your financial planner, your accountant, your broker, and your property strategist on the same page, understanding how everything fits together, the client understands where everything's going to be, and how they feel, and they can just see that it's all working towards their long-term goal.
Like a game of chess, right?
A little bit of strategy involved, yes, and hopefully checkmates in their favour.
Yeah, exactly.